Yeah, yeah, yeah. Roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast scene. Talking Burton bogeys, holding one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front. Tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discussing the course, weed strains for lunch. Straight shooters on the greens, not a front. Pitch, put and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Smoking aces, laces tied tight. With a puff we fly, elevate the night. Golf ball soaring, higher than a kite. Fairway to heaven, shining real bright. Pitch, foot and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff.
And we're in it. Welcome back to another episode of the Pitch, Putt, and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, a.k.a. RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get into it tonight, we got to give a shout-out to a few sponsors, starting off with Athletic, ATHLE-THC. Make sure you guys go check them out. Athletic has the 2 milligram mints. Something for every part of your day, pretty much. You got the power, the flow, and the rebound, so make sure you guys go check them out, especially the variety pack, to find out which one exactly fits your needs. Athletic, ATHLE-THC.com. Use promo code PUFF for a special discount. Also, we got to give a shout out to my man Marty over at Trouble Off the Tee. Brad, I got one of these Trouble Off the Tee hats for you, man, for your big W today.
So thank you, man. Appreciate it.
We got some camel chasing. We got a never lay up, which I'm assuming you didn't do today to get that W.
Nope.
And then scratch golfer. Shout out Marty over at
They
Trouble
hooked you up.
Yeah, Marty takes good care of us at the Pitch, Putt, and Puff, man.
Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, check him out, TroubleOffTheTee.com. Use promo code PUFF20 to save yourself 20%. And a big shout out going out to Back Nine Botanicals, the official sponsor of this weekend's round for the Pitch, Putt, and Puff. I'm wearing one of the hats right now. Go check them out, Back Nine Botanicals. They got the THC shooters. They got the gummies, the Tea Time Sunrise, the Moonlight Mulligan. These are where it's at, though, the little 10 milligram shooters. Go check them out. They got the passion fruit as well as the new flavor. If I didn't drink them all, the orange. So on point with these. Shout out to Back Nine Botanicals, big supporters of the Pitch, Putt, and Puff. Go check them out, back9botanicals.com, and use promo code TPUFF10 to save yourself 10% at checkout. But let's get into it away from the PPP into the AM Tour, where my guest tonight, Scrounge, aka Brad, took home. Is that your first tour win?
That is my first tour win. There's the brass right there to prove it.
That's what's up, man.
And they came to our home course, man. I had to represent. They came to Freer Park in Troy, New York. It was a 2-day event, and there was no way I was going to let somebody else come from out of town and come win at our place.
Tough conditions, man. The weather did not cooperate with us this weekend, especially you guys. We lucked out. We only had rain for the last 3 holes of our round. And when we were finishing, you guys were pretty much starting your round. And it was a mess from there on out today. Let's start with Saturday, though. How was your Saturday round?
Yeah, I mean, if you play golf in the Northeast this weekend, you got rained on. And it was the same Saturday. Saturday was a grind. It was just brutal. It was raining the whole time. You're holding an umbrella. It's exhausting. You're trying to keep everything dry. You're trying to wear a dry glove. And you're even trying to keep a dry scorecard in the cart because somebody's got to do a paper score and somebody's doing the score on the app. And, you know, it's just all that going on and it's exhausting. So I'm sitting here right now after 2 days and I can tell you that it wasn't fun. Like, it was great to win, won a bunch of money, but it was a grind for 2 straight days getting rained on and just trying to get through it in those conditions. And it ate people up, but I did all right. And so, yeah, it was going to win.
I mean, the course is tough enough as it is. I mean, the rain actually, I don't know how you felt today, but it definitely, from Friday to today, that overnight rain slowed the greens down a little bit. Nothing drastic, but enough to where you could be a little bit more aggressive with the putter today.
Yeah, I mean, we even had some puddles on the green today. Guys putting through puddles and having the ball just stop in the puddle. I birdied the gully hole, number 5, and the hole was submerged underwater. So it got to the hole and it just sunk down into the water. And it was $150 skin for me too. So But it was amazing to see. Like I hadn't seen a hole submerged in water like that before.
And that was one of the holes prior to the renovations that never had any water issues. And now all of a sudden it's developed some last year there was a couple times the water was just sitting up there and not doing
Yeah,
nothing.
at the bottom of that green there were some puddles, some big ones.
So overall, what you end up shooting on Saturday?
I went 93 yesterday and a 92 today. And it was enough to win. I beat 2 guys by 1. They were in my group today in the final group. And yeah, so we were and I wasn't looking at the score. It's hard to keep up on the score on the live scoring again when it's pouring outside. So to keep pulling open your phone when you're trying to stay dry, it's just, I had no idea. I knew I was within 1 or 2 strokes of the lead most of the time, but didn't know until 17 that we were actually all tied. There was 3 of us tied going into the 17th hole. And that's when I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm actually tied. Like I thought I was behind 2. And so I had to start playing serious. And
especially so you're going down the home stretch, 17 and 18. Those are not easy holes. There's a lot of room for mistakes on those holes. I made one today on 18 for the first time all year. I was trying to get below 70 or 80 today, and I blew up on 16 with the shot to the woods. Finished with it, lost the ball for a double bogey there. Bogey.
What'd you shoot?
Shot at 86. I was on pace. Me and Bub were tied with the 69 going into 16. Me and Bub were old school, back and forth, battling it out. I shot a 39 on the front. He shot a 40. It was like I made a birdie on 9 to win a skin and take the lead from him. So it was like our old school like competitiveness was kind of getting juiced up on the like. I knew what he was doing every shot he took. Basically, he knew what I was doing.
So you didn't. So then you got rained on, and is that what messed you up the last few holes?
I'm not making excuses, but the driver got a little slippery on 16. It got a little bit away from me on the right. I was behind the trees on 16 and tried to I tried to go over the trees. I had enough room to where I could have got it up and over the trees. I went with an 8 iron. I probably should have went with a 9 just to get that extra bit of loft. I clipped a tree, and from that point, we don't know where my ball went. Like, I don't think it was lost. I just don't think we knew which direction to look, kind of thing.
You took a penalty because of that?
I took a penalty because it started raining on us pretty good. And I was like, I'm not going to make these guys sit here and look in the rain. I looked for literally Parisi went one side of the trees. I went the other, and we couldn't find it. I was like, as much as I didn't want to in that situation, I was like, I got to take a drop. And bro, there was a point on 11 where I battled myself out of trouble. I hit it down to the right. It was a little swampy down there on the par 5 11.
Yeah.
And I duffed it, and I went near the swamp on 9, but it was still playable. So I punched it. I ended up saving a bogey where that should have been a 7 or 8. So there was some holes on the back. Like the back, I usually score better. This year, for whatever reason, I'm crushing on the front. I'm low 40s on the front a lot of the time. So I don't know what's going on.
That's what I was wondering, because you said you shot a 40 on the front or a 39, and going into the back, you're thinking, okay, I have a shot at 70s today, but you did worse. You did worse on the back.
I'm like, today's the day. Like, today's the day. Okay, here we go. We got a good chance at this right now. Let's see if we can make something happen. I mean, I'm always competing with Bob in my head, even when we play during the week. Like, it's like, all right, what do you got? What do you got? Like, it's our thing. Like, that's like our way of like kind of pushing each other to get better. And today, man, it was a lot of fun just going back and forth with him on the just on the scorecard overall. Parisi struggled a little bit today. He didn't have his best round. Kirk had a good back 9, shitty front 9. I think he gets nervous playing with us or something. Like, he's trying to do so good to show us that like he's got a lot better. And it's really his short game that he struggles with the putts.
He just needs experience. Golf takes experience. He ain't got it yet.
I want to work with him one day on the putting green before a round, and just like when he misses, he does what we used to do. He just misses, and then he misses, and it penalizes him because he's being too aggressive, and it's running 8 feet past the hole opposed to 8 inches kind of thing.
I say for him, though, I mean, it does seem like he's a student of the game. He's interested in learning and getting better and does the studying. And so he's probably working on whatever he's doing wrong. Because he's putting as much time as anybody this winter.
He's the only one who really put like serious time in working on this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
He really
And
is,
fairway
man.
with the VR golf, which the VR golf helps. It keeps you in that mindset, but it's just not the same as striking a real golf ball.
No, not even close, man. Not even close. Like it takes a while too. Like I'm curious to see. I just got the new driver. Literally just picked it up for one of your guys on tour. I came back to Freer Park to pick it up. From
No
your
kidding.
man.
I saw the pictures of that.
Yeah,
Join the club.
your man Craig, man. Craig, who won I think he won the Sea Flight. He hooked me up with it, dude. I got it for things brand new. He's like, dude, I used it. I won it at a tournament, and I used it maybe 5-10 times, and I still hit the other one, my ping further. So I'm using this. I'm like, thank you, because I'm using a
Yeah.
burner from 1997.
You know, Anthony could have used that driver because his is all dinged up on the bottom now, but he was slow. He was too slow.
Yep, he could have pulled the
Anthony
trigger.
had a rough couple of days. I can tell you that. Down in the life is hard for Anthony in the Sea Flight. They bumped him up a little bit, and he wasn't ready for that life.
No,
I think
he's
he
got to
went
score low 80.
95. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
That's
But
tough.
he doesn't respond well to poor weather. He was grinding hard yesterday. Didn't want to really be out there. Was sort of pouting a little bit for a few holes. Had to try to pep talk him a little. I even said to him one point, I said, Anthony, I'm like, you're being a baby right now. He goes, because I'm cold and I'm wet. I'm like, yeah, we all are. We got to grind through this, man. Like, what are you talking about? Let's go. There's money on the line. There's skins on the line. Like and Anthony actually hooked me up because he birdied. Anthony had a nice approach on 17, the par 3 yesterday.
Yeah.
And birdied it, hit a 15-foot putt for the birdie. And we celebrate because now Anthony's coming out of his shell. He just birdied 17, thinking he had a skin. Didn't. He actually took the skin from somebody else, which made me more money. So Anthony's birdie made me like 30 more bucks, like
Nice.
insult to injury. So I had a good
Nice.
time. Anthony, not as much.
What was the closeout moment for you today, though? Was it on 18, taking down the home stretch?
No, it was on 17. And 17 is when I realized the three of us in the lead group are tied. The two guys that teed off before me went long and left, way up on the hill left, kind of like pin high, but they were long and left and had a downhill chip. I was short left of the green, flopped it up about 20 feet past. So I've got a par look. They flubbed their chips coming down to the hill and barely make it on the green. So they're pretty far away, taking their third shots. I'm 15 feet away. I ended up with the 4. They ended up with the 5. And I'm going to 18 thinking this is my hole. Like, I love 18. As long as I stay left up the tree line, I can hit the green from anywhere over there. And it's what I smoked the drive. And it was next to the bunker down there. Flopped it on, 3-putted, just missed the par. But really, it was them being left on 17 and not being able to chip down onto the green. That's where those two lost it. And I beat them by a stroke each. We all took a 5 on 18.
Yeah, because I seen they were tied at second place when you posted the leaderboard there. That's a stressful tee box right there, going into 18, knowing you got the lead by a stroke and not to make that mistake.
Yeah, and I had the best tee shot of everybody, and they had poor tee shots. So then is when I kind of thought it was over. Like, they would have had to hit, the one guy that had the best swing was on the left fairway, short left fairway, like just yanked it down. So he had a long second shot. So that's, yeah. But I was also worried about the guy behind me because on the leaderboard, there was a guy behind us that was actually 2 strokes ahead of us. He ends up tripling 17 and double bogeying 18. So as when we finished the round, we thought we had finished in second. We're back at the clubhouse on the app like, oh, shit, we might be in a playoff here. And the guy bogeyed or double bogeyed 18. And so next thing you know, the app updates, and I'm like, oh, shit, that's my trophy right there.
Nice. Because you got screwed over not too long ago when the app uploaded and you thought you won.
Last year, man. Well, it's not. Actually, what happened was that a guy that said he couldn't make day 2 had a family issue, shows up day 2, and they had taken him out of the app. So I think I'm nursing a 3-stroke lead for 5 or 6 holes, not knowing there was somebody not in the app and that they were ahead of me by a stroke. So yeah, I ended up losing by 2 strokes after 6 holes or so of thinking I have a 3-stroke lead. I laid up on one shot and I hit it so clean that it still bounced into the water. And I'm thinking if I was down a shot there, I'm going for that green. It was a par 5. Like, I always would go for it, but I'm nursing a 3-shot lead.
Yeah, right.
And I wasn't, but I hit that thing. took a whole bunch off, did a 50% swing, and phew, into the water, took the penalty, and then get into the clubhouse. People are texting me, congratulating me because they're following on the app. And I'm
Right.
texting everybody back like, I didn't win. I came in second. So that wasn't good. That wasn't a good experience.
That's shitty, man.
But
That's shitty.
not this time, man.
Hell
Not
yeah.
this time.
No, literally last podcast, I gave you guys a shout out. I said, I was like, this is our home course. I want these dudes to show the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
represent the pitch putt and puff, like especially you, like that's your pitch putt and puff from day one. Like, go out there, represent fucking Freer Park, and win this shit. And I seen that you were what 3 or 4 strokes back going into today, and I was like, he's got a shot. Yeah.
So listen to this shit. That guy that was in the lead, he was in my group, took his driver out last night to dry it and left it at home. Was teeing off with his 3-wood all day, trying to pound him, and was topping him into the ground. He shot 100. He shot an 87 the first day and 104 today.
I seen that. I seen that when you put that on the scorecard. I was like, damn, someone had a tough day with the weather.
Didn't want to use anybody's driver. Didn't want to use somebody else's. Was just like, nope, it's my own fault. I'm like, that's a fuck, my God.
Wow.
It's a huge mistake. Huge. Yeah.
That's a fairway move right there, bro. That's a fairway Mike move. 100%.
He was kind of out of it early. And so it was just down to me and the 2 other guys that were just going punch for punch. So, and I want to say it was fun, man, but the conditions were so shitty and wet that it's just like in your mind, you're just trying to get through it, have a good swing, keep it in play, try to stay dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm exhausted. My body's exhausted.
And in a round like that, the mental exhaustion of it too. Like, it's mentally exhausting down the stretch. Like
and it was slow. I mean, it was a 5-hour round. So you do that 2 days in a row in the rain.
That sucks.
I love this game, but I didn't love it this weekend.
Yeah, because I came back to meet that dude for the club at like 4:30, and I was sitting there until like almost 5, and I didn't see any groups coming in. I'm like, where are these guys? Like, they can't all still be out there. Like, there was a couple dudes like I seen Rob Lee come through and a couple other guys, and I'm like, where the fuck where's Ant? And I was calling Ant. He's like, oh, I was still on 15. I'm like, 15? You started at 11:30, bro. 15? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I must have been still around like 17, 18 at that point. Yeah.
Because I was calling him because I was going to hop in a cart and go see what was going on. I was just going to sit at 18 under a tree like we normally do. I didn't give a shit. I was already wet still, so whatever.
It was a monsoon, dude. People finished that hole and they were bouncing to the parking lot to get out of it. It was just miserable. Northeast golf, baby. It's going to be nice soon, though. Next weekend will be nice.
Unfortunately, the whole week looks like shit this upcoming week.
The week does not look good.
The week does not look good. I cannot play next weekend because it's Mother's Day. So I'm out next week. I don't know how you guys, if you guys want to play, I'll get tee times, but we'll figure it out throughout the week. But I'm out. I know Hank's probably out. Majority of the guys are probably out for the most part. But the guys who do want to play, I'll set it up and you guys can do whatever you want.
Sounds good. Mother's Day comes first, boys. Remember that. All you listeners out there. It's Mother's Day this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Saviors, go get your cards now because you're going to forget come Sunday. Go get it now. Always get them early. But yeah, so I'll actually be missing the next 2 weeks. My daughter has her first communion the following week, so I'll be missing some weeks, man. And I'm making a nice little move for these rankings right now with the 89, 86 in the first 2 weeks of the PPP. So top 2 scorers each week. 80. I was top 3 last week and top 2 this week. So I'm creeping up there.
Yeah,
I'm making a lot of changes, Brad. So like last year, especially, I never practiced. I just went out and hit golf balls. Now
you played so many rounds that was your practice,
right? But I was just out there hitting it. I wasn't trying to like actually do shit.
Yeah.
So now, like with the short game, I call him Johnny Two Gloves, Johnny Callaway. He gave me a little tip with the chipping. Me, him, and Anthony played one round. And, dude, it's made the biggest difference for me ever because I'm not sculling it anymore. I'm pulling it a little bit to the left. But now I made the adjustment to turn my shoulders this way so I'm more accurate. Like, I almost had 2 chip-ins today. I had a chip-in on, I guess it's not even a chip-in, but I was like 126 out on the first hole on Friday. Made an eagle.
Nice. Oh, good shit.
Yep. So
congratulations. That's a good swing.
That's I was playing.
I've seen you do that before.
Yeah,
You've seen it from 170 out of you, not 120.
125 and some change, man. It was me and Hank and fairway, and I hit it to the left side of the cart path on 125 out. Front pin was in the front right, and 56 it up there. It bounced up twice, and I looked and I go, Hank, that's in. He goes, yeah, all right. I go, no, Hank, I seriously, like, I'm not joking. I think that's in. So we get up there, and I'm like, Hank, I don't see my ball. He goes, well, there's a white, like there was a wrapper or something on the, like a Snickers wrapper on the back of
My
the green.
dad always some shit like that's a ball. I'm like, it's a piece of paper, Dad. What are you talking about?
I'm like, Hank, that's not a ball, man. And then fairway's walking up to I go, Mike, grab my ball out of the cup. He goes, yeah, all right, man. And he looks down. He goes, what the fuck, man? And I was like, no way you made that. And he's got his whole reaction. And Hank's like, I really went in. So I had another good round. Like literally Thursday, I had a 56 after the 13th hole. And I had to leave because I got to get my daughter at the school bus for 3:00. So I leave at 3.
Wow.
Friday, I had a 41 after 9, parred the first 3 holes on the back and had to leave again. I'm like, yeah, it was one of those days. I'm like, damn, dude, like I just got to finish. And then today I had the opportunity to finish and Mother Nature collided with us. So overall wasn't the best, but I did take home the cash and won a skin. So I'm not mad about it.
Now there's a lot of money being made on this podcast right now.
It's nice, man. It paid for half of my golf club, bro. I ain't mad at it at all.
Yeah, that's we'll see how that treats you, because getting out of the tee box has been your Achilles heel for a while. So maybe this club will change things for you. A different
not this
feel.
season. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Like I've actually I've slowed down my swing. I'm focusing on my grip. Like I'm just playing different, and it's actually showing on the scorecard compared to I do find myself in trouble, but I played the same. Like I lost 2 balls today. One was because I hit a tree. I have no idea where the hell it went. And then I got aggressive on 18 trying to crush one, and I fucking shanked it off to the right because I was trying to catch Bub because I knew Bub was 2 strokes ahead of me, and I was trying to catch his ass. But overall, but it's just a big difference. Putting, I'm putting lights out. Sunk a downhill, probably 15, 20 footer downhill on 9 for a birdie. That's not an easy hole to be up on top of that hill coming down.
Yeah. And nothing was rolling out there, Taylor. Like you put the ball up on that hill, it stayed up there. That's where I was. Actually, a couple of us were. I'm thinking, oh, that might bounce and kick down. And no, everything was just too soft. I had probably 4 drives where they landed and kicked back a foot or 2 because of how soft the ground was. And I sent you guys a picture. I landed in a divot yesterday. I hit a drive. It bounced back after it hit in the ground, bounced back a foot or 2 into a scar. It was somebody's divot, but it was about a ½ inch thick, and my ball's just sitting down in it. And I look at Anthony in the car. I'm like, you got to be fucking, you got to be kidding me. And Anthony's just looking at me with his arms crossed, just like,
I don't want to be here, man. I want to go home and nap.
it was half that, half like, I don't care. Too bad. But yeah, man, it was like I was penalized on a beautiful drive because how soft the ground was. So instead of getting 15 or 20 yards on the bounce, it kicked back a foot into a divot. So, and then I had to top it out. It was actually a deep divot that I got in. And
that sucks because
you can't move it. There's none of that.
Right. With us, move that shit. Like, get it out of the divot. Like, I don't expect you guys to play that kind of shot. Like,
it's like we call it a gentleman's game. You know, what gentleman wouldn't say? You're in the middle of the fairway. Pull it out of that divot and hit it off the grass like you've earned.
Right.
But instead, I was penalized because a knucklehead ahead of me didn't replace his divot. It was unfortunate. So those are the kind of conditions you're dealing with out there. I hit another shot that hit into the ground and came backwards a foot. I shot backwards. And you start thinking about these things over 2 days. On 18 today, I just took a little off a putt for some reason and left it on the lip. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not really in it. I think I'm behind by 2 anyway, not realizing I won by 1. But there were so many of those shots over 2 days where you're like, wow, like that could have been the reason I lost. Like, interesting.
Yeah. And you would have looked back at that and been pissed off at a shot or, taking advantage, like where you didn't take advantage of a stroke or something like that.
Yeah. But I just think I topped that one drive on 15 yesterday. Don't even make it to the ladies' tee. And that's where I take out the 3-wood. Swing it, hit it in the ground, and it bounces back a foot. So now I'm hitting 3 on a par 5 from behind the ladies' tee still.
Oh my gosh!
And it's like, this is a scoring hole.
Yeah, that's the one, right?
So it's like you think about these little sequences over 2 days, and you're like, wow, like that could have cost me $400 this weekend.
Yeah, because that's a
So, but
nice little payday too. I mean, I was talking to someone today. I was like, it kind of sucks for like you and Anth because you're members at Freer Park, and then you go and pay all the money to play on the tour, but you could have just paid your card fee. You know what I mean? I'm
it was
like, damn,
$230 to play in this weekend.
but
And
at
then
the
it was
same time,
another 60 for the skins. So I'm in for like 300. Walked
right?
away with almost 600, like 580. So
It's not a bad weekend, man. It's not a bad weekend at all.
that's,
At
but
all.
you say that on the one hand. On the other hand, like I said, it wasn't fun. It was rain for 10 hours.
Right.
So,
How much
you
worse
just have
would it
to
have been if you didn't win the cash though? You'd be home sleep. You'd be in bed like Anthony right now.
I'm sad. Yeah, you're probably right about that because I am exhausted, man. My legs feel like concrete.
Yeah. No, we'll wrap this up. I just want to recap the PPP scores real quick. We got Bub leading. I'm gonna go off the top of my head because I left the scorecards out in the living room. We got Bub led the way with an 83.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been playing lights out. He had like 6 or 7 pars in a row. I think like
Wow.
hole 5 through 12. I think he parred, dude.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, he was on fire. I had an 86 as well as JR. JR almost holed the second hole. He was about a foot and a half away from what we seen on 2, so he caught the birdie on 2. Let's see. I had a birdie on 9. I didn't really do anything spectacular today, like that stood out. I just didn't find I was scoring. Like my second shots were really good. Like I said, my putter's been saving me. I think I had like 32 putts today on the day or something like that. So pretty much
That's
like
the name of the game, man. Name of the game.
I was putting really well. I almost had a couple chip ins, like on the gully. I almost had a chip in. It's been the short game of the putt, and it's been saving me. It's been my difference maker, and my tee shots aren't going 15 yards off the tee box and to the left. They're actually going out within, I'm getting out within 125 yards out of most approach shots. Who else came in? What do we have? We had Hank had an 89. Hank whooped my ass on Friday night. Beat him up on the front 9, and he turned it on the back 9 when it was game
for the
time.
league. When it meant something. Yeah.
When it meant something. I think he beat me by 5 strokes.
Wow.
42-47. Yep. Every time I made a mistake, he took advantage. Every time he made a mistake, I would take advantage for like the tee shot, but then he would find a way to get back in the hole, and like I would fuck up a chip shot or something stupid.
Yeah, he's not easy to play against. I know we talked about this one time. Like we should do a podcast on who you would most fear in a 1-hole playoff. Because there's guys I wouldn't want to play for like 9 holes, but in a 1-hole playoff, Hank is one of those guys I don't want to play in a 1-hole playoff.
I think a lot of guys would say Hank. Like even Bub was like, "Yo, Hank is tough to beat when it like he just beat up on Anthony the week before. Like Hank is tough to beat in league play, man. He really is."
Good. Beat up on Anthony. More the merrier.
Yep. Let's see who came in next. We had, I want to say Fairway was a 90. Fairway was Kirk was a 90. Fairway was a 95. Kirk had a nice birdie on the 8th hole. He had a beautiful tee shot right down the pipe, and then his approach shot was 5 feet. Just
wow.
Yeah, the pin was front and center, and he was just left of the pin if you're looking at the green and uphill. So it was a nice downhill putt, but he buried that for a bird. So Kirk's been playing pretty good. He's just gotta lock in the mental focus of 18 holes of golf, and I think he tries to do too much.
Experience takes a lot of rounds.
Yeah,
you just got to experience some shit.
And so purposely this week, so I played with him Friday for our league. And he got out one day. I think he played one day with us as well. So I was like, yo, I'm putting him in my group again because I want him to be uncomfortable now with us. Like if he's trying too hard, like, you know what I mean? Because like there's guys I play with that
you got to get over.
Yeah. Like I try harder to play like better, like Mealy when Mealy's around or my buddy Neil. Like those are the guys I started playing golf with. So I want to be good when I play with them. Like, yo, look how much better I got. But that will be the day I go out and I start shanking shit. So
yeah.
I think Kirk's doing the same thing. So, like, I'm putting him with us now so he's more comfortable as the season goes. Like, he's not trying to impress us or show us that how much better he's got.
He needs to smoke more weed out there is what it sounds like.
I think so, too. He's got to get his hands on some Cowboy Lemonade from the Helium Collective.
Yeah, bring some Cowboy Lemonade for Kirk next week.
I will.
He'll be fine.
Sure. He'll be all right. What else there? Fairway had the 95. Fairway almost had a birdie on 18. He came up short on his putt like he always does. Putts like a little Sally on those birdie putts.
Oh, man.
And then who else do we got? Oh, Kev. Kev came up just like 101, 102, something like that. Kev's second round of the year. So not bad for Kev getting out there. But Kev will turn it on. He had a nice putt on 18 for the par. So, but then we pulled the cards. Me and JR with the 86 took the W.
Nice.
So,
congratulations.
Yep. Back-to-back weeks for me. Me and Hank won last week. And then for skins, it was split between 4 ways. Me, Bob, JR, and Kirk got the skins this week. So
Okay.
overall, man, not bad. Everybody's
Spreading the
taking
love.
home with the cash.
And again,
like it.
in shit conditions again. So at least next week, we're going to have some sun to play under.
Yeah, hopefully, man, it gets a little nicer here for us. It's got to start warming up eventually. I mean, what the fuck?
Dude, my mother tried telling me, she saw on the news, they said we've had precipitation of some form every weekend since early November.
I seen that. That's crazy, dude.
I can't handle that. I don't want to hear that kind of crap. Not as a
Every
golfer.
weekend, like my daughter plays softball now. She's got like 3 games this week, and they're all going to get rescheduled. Like I already know it. You know what I mean?
That's 5 straight months of rain or snow on the weekend.
It's
We're in for a
brutal.
good summer. I think it's a good sign. We're getting.
I
it
hope
out.
so, man. It's been super windy. Luckily, we didn't have that issue this weekend, or it would have really sucked, dude. Because if it was windy out there today with that rain, it would have been brutal. So
Yeah, because then everything in the car gets wet. That the rain comes in sideways and everything is screwed.
yeah,
So today
Yeah.
wasn't so bad.
it wasn't. It was just spotty. Like
Rain
yesterday.
down.
Yeah, straight honest, but consistent, unfortunately, which sucked. But overall, another good weekend. Congratulations once again, Brad, for taking home your first W on the AM
Thank
Tour.
you.
Now, how's that work for you? Do you have to win one more event and you qualify for nationals, or like
You
how
have
does
to
that work?
play in 4 events to qualify for nationals, so you just have to
Okay.
play in 4. So, and which I will, but I probably won't go to nationals because I love the PPP crew. This is what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
here to do: is hang
Hell
with you
yeah.
guys.
More chill, and I got a feeling we're going to see a lot more of Upstate Anthony. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot more. Obviously, Mikey, we'll get him out there soon. He's been getting beat down at work. I barely talk to that kid right now. He's so busy at work, working like 10-hour days. So
Wow.
he's been grinding. He hit me up the other day. He's like, bro, I swear I'm not avoiding you. I'm just so tired. I'm like, bro, here. He goes, I sit around for 6 months and then I work my ass off for 6 months. So we'll be getting him back on here soon enough once he gets on the course with us. He could take my spot this Sunday if you guys are all playing and fucking have JR or Bub do it, and you just keep it rolling.
Yeah, we'll have to get on the chain and see who can play.
Yeah, I'll set it. I'll still set up tee times. The tee times are always there for us on Sunday, so we'll figure it out from there. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Back Nine Botanicals. Really appreciate them hooking us up. They hooked us up with some hats, some t-shirts, JR, and because I won, it was going to go to the winning team. I gave it to the low score, which was Bub for the day because I already got all the gear. So a nice little Back Nine Botanicals t-shirts.
Okay.
Wrong way. Also some hats, a similar hat to like these here. Mine's actually soaking wet in the car still because I wore it today while we were playing. And also I got those right here. The gummies, man. The CBD gummies, they got the Birdie Boost, get you going in the day, as well as like the Moonlight Mulligan to put you to bed at night, man. I love these. These have a CBN in them. I don't know if you can see because of the glare, but CBN is great for nighttime, man. It's something, I forget what it stands for, but anytime you see N, basically remember night, and it's great for sleep. But really, like if you're one of those people like myself who you're tired as shit, but your mind's racing and you can't calm down to go to bed, take one of those. 30-40 minutes later, you're snoozing away. So back9botanicals.com, promo code TPUF10. And then Brad, once again, man, appreciate you jumping on. Congrats.
Love you, Raj.
And we'll see you out there on next Sunday. Well, I won't, but the crew will. And
We'll be out
make
there.
another weekend happen of the Pitch Putt and Puff. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Check us out on Wednesday for another episode. Peace.
Yeah. Roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast scene. Talking Burton Bogies, hole in one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front, tee off in